Hello, I'm Kevin Harrington, one of the original sharks from Shark Tank. Did you know that according to U.S. government statistics, 95% of Americans fail to successfully retire by age 65 after working for 45 years? Now, according to the Federal Reserve, the median savings for a person 65 to 74 is only $200,000. No one is retiring with just $200,000. The problem is with the strategy of saving your way to retirement. People just don't make enough money in the United States. According to MarketWatch.com, 66.2% of Americans feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. But there is good news. We know what the 5% who do retire successfully are doing differently, and we'll share that with you in this half hour. So just keep watching. Now, my guest today has over 34 years of experience as a real estate investor and a mentor. And he started with bad credit and no money, but he eventually invested in over 4,000 apartment units. Now, Steve Davis is the founder of Total Wealth Academy. And Total Wealth Academy teaches people how to build a second stream of income investing in real estate. He is now going to explain why 95% of Americans fail to retire and how you can avoid this. Let's listen in to one of his presentations on this alarming statistic.
Hello and welcome. Let me first say that I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. This material is the material that changed my life, and I want to share it with you in a way that's easy to understand and can also change your life. So again, I appreciate the opportunity. We're all grateful here at Total Wealth Academy that you're watching. What I want to talk about now is the fact that most people are not in the financial position that they want to be in. And it all comes down to the map. We're all given a map to success, but I want to question that map today. It is my opinion that if you're 45, 50, 60, and you're not in the financial position you want to be in after working for 20, 30, 40 years, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. See, you've got to have an effective map to get to success. And what I'd like to do is, for this example, I want you to pretend that we all start somewhere. We'll call that home. And that from the time we're old enough to walk, people start telling us how to get to success. First our parents, then our teachers, then our college professors, then our bosses. Everybody has this map to success. And it sounds something like this. Work real hard in high school, get into college. Go to college, work hard, get a degree. Get out, get a job with a big corporation with high pay and good benefits. And then work for 45 years, scrimp and save, put your money in an IRA or 401k, retire at 65, and live off your savings. Does that sound familiar? Of course, it's the map we're all given. And again, the first place that it comes from the time we're old enough to walk, our parents tell us, this is the map. This is how you become successful. Then we get into high school. Our high school teachers and counselors give us the same map. They tell us this is how to be successful. Then we get to college. Our college professors and our counselors again give us the same map. Here's the map to success. And you begin to believe it. Then your bosses, your friends and neighbors, they all have the same map. So everybody's got the same map. They all think it's right. But if you'll notice from this diagram, is that arrow pointing towards success? No. And what that represents is when you wake up. See, what's going to happen is in your life, one of two things will wake you up to the fact that the map doesn't work. If you're lucky like I was, I got a pay cut at age 27. I went in after winning a national sales contest and a trip to Hawaii. When I got back from Hawaii, they cut my pay by 20 grand a year. And that woke me up. And I realized having a job is high risk. And I'm not getting where I want to be financially. And nothing about this job will ever get me where I want to be financially. So I woke up at a young age. Other people are not as lucky. They wait till midlife. They wait till that 35th birthday, and they go 2 times 35 is 70, and they go, wow, I'm halfway there, and I'm nowhere near what? Success. See, the arrow's not pointing towards success, and people begin to realize they're never going to get to success if they keep doing what they're doing. And what people do is they blame themselves. They say things like, I'm not smart enough, so they go get another degree or a master's degree. The first degree didn't make them rich, but the second one will, is the theory. Other people will say they're not working hard enough, so they go take a second job, or they do what I did. I began working 70 hours a week. I thought I would outwork everybody. That's how I'd become successful. Still others will say, again, it's my fault, it's my attitude, it's my motivation. And they'll go take attitude and motivational classes to improve their attitude, to improve their motivation. Here's the problem. All these things can do, working harder, getting another degree, working on your motivation, all these things can possibly do is get you to the wrong place faster. Because the problem is not with you. The problem is with the map. Guess where the people that taught us how to get to success have never been? Your parents, your high school teachers, your college professors, they've never been to success. Simply put, were your parents, teachers, and college professors multimillionaire entrepreneurs? They weren't, were they? Is it not possible that they gave you the wrong map? It's not only possible, it's highly likely. They gave you the wrong map. As a result of this map, 95% of Americans fail to retire by age 65. That's after working for 45 years, 40, 50, 60 hours a week for 45 years. Well, some of you, when you woke up, you got desperate. And you decided to hire a thing called a financial planner to help you with your finances, to help you get to success. But you didn't do the math. You didn't Google, how much does the average financial planner in the United States make? And what you would have found is that the average financial planner in the United States makes about $100,000 a year. So if you have a financial planner, this is what you did. You walked up to a financial planner and you said, hey, I know you don't make a lot of money. I know you're not rich. I know you're not retired. But can you help me get rich and retire? They can't help you. They've never done it. See, you need somebody on your team, like Total Wealth Academy, that has done it, that has achieved success. You need someone on your team that can carry you and give you the map to success. See, the rich teach their kids differently than the poor and middle class. This book, The Richest Man in Babylon, is probably the most important financial book that you'll ever read. I highly recommend it as a starter. But it brings up the fact that you must build a second stream of income. You're supposed to have your job income and a second stream of income. Again, the wealthy teach their kids differently. When my son turned 8, I handed him a Lego and a copy of this book, and I said, son, happy birthday, I love you, but remember, you've got to have a second stream of income. When he turned 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I reminded him, don't forget, you've always got to have a second stream of income. When he turned 15, 16, 17, 18, when he turned 18, I congratulated him. Way to go, son. You made it to college. I love you. I'm proud of you. But don't forget, you got to have a second stream of income. By the time my son graduated college, he had 11 rent houses and $4,000 a month in second stream of income. Now, some of you may say, well, your son must be brilliant and hardworking. He is. So are you. So are you. The difference is not brilliance. The difference is not hard work. The difference was he had the right map. I guarantee you this, if you had been told from age 8 that you needed a second stream of income, do you know what you would have right now? a second stream of income. You were just never told, were you? See, the rich teach their kids differently than the poor and middle class. And this is nothing new. This is the same thing that Warren Buffett has been talking about for 40, 50 years. Never depend on a single source of income. Always invest to create a second source. What you'll learn at Total Wealth Academy is this map, a map that goes directly to success. We teach our students how to get out of dependency on speculation like the stock market and get their money into income producing assets like real estate that produce monthly cash flow. Remember, at the beginning of this, I said, it's not your fault, but you cannot unwatch this. You cannot unhear this. If you don't change what you're doing, it is your fault, because you now know that your map is wrong. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result, that's your fault. Take responsibility. Make a change. Visit us at Total Wealth Academy. To learn more, register for a free sample class today. Sign up online at TotalWealthAcademy.com or call 855-576-7325. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com.
So now you see what the rich are doing differently than the poor and middle class. They're building a second stream of income to supplement and eventually replace their earned income. And this income stream lasts them their entire life, including during retirement. Now, it's important to understand that 90% of these people used real estate to produce this second income stream. Why? There are many reasons for this, but simply put, real estate makes money in both the up and down markets. This makes it a much lower risk than the stock market, plus it produces cash flow. And this is the second stream of income that we're all talking about. For every dollar that you put into real estate, you're making money 4 ways: cash flow, equity buildup, appreciation, and equity capture. Back again to explain this is Steve Davis of Total Wealth Academy.
Welcome back to the Total Wealth Academy radio show. I am your host, Steve Davis, and just want to make you aware that we are heard live across Texas 7 days a week and across the United States in our podcast that you can find at TotalWealthAcademy.com. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com. What I want to talk about in this segment is the $300,000 bet that no one will take. And it's based on actual deals that I have done in the past. And what it compares is stocks to real estate, stocks versus real estate. I've had this on the air for 27 years. I have presented this bet in front of as many as 3,000 people at one time. No one has ever taken me up on this bet. And here's what the bet is. You put $300,000 in the stock market on January 1st, and I'll put $300,000 into real estate. We meet at the end of the year and see who has more profit. And I want to ask you this question. Would you take that bet? You wouldn't, would you? No one would. It's not a fair bet. And the reason no one will take this bet and hasn't taken this bet, even though I've presented it to tens of thousands of people through the radio, TV, and live events, no one will take this bet because everyone knows that real estate outproduces the stock market. You know it, I know it. But I want you to think deeply about this. Where's your money? Where's your money right now? It's in the stock market, isn't it? You got an IRA, a 401k. It's in some diversified portfolio or mutual funds. Maybe some of you have forayed into gold, silver, crypto. But you know that real estate outperforms those things. Why would you have your money in the stock market if you know that real estate outperforms the stock market? Is it because you, and I say this facetiously, obviously, is it because you don't love your family? Is it because you don't like higher rates of return? Is it because you don't like a safer investment? Is it because you don't care? It's none of those things. It's fear. You have some core fear that you either can't invest in real estate, or you may have some fear that real estate is more risky than the stock market. You may feel like real estate consumes a bunch of time, which it doesn't. You may think that you've got to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to get started. You don't. There's some fear holding you back, and that's why your money's in the stock market. So it is important to keep reading, listen to radio shows like this, and learn why real estate makes so much more money than the stock market. But let's look at this bet. First, let's look at the stock guy. He puts $300,000 in the stock market. Now, the stock market average is 7.5% rate of return over the last 75 years. 7.5%. But this year, let's pretend like the stock market booms and you get a 30% rate of return in the stock market. That would mean that that individual who put up the $300,000 made $90,000 over the year. $90,000. Well, let's look at the real estate investor, you and I. What we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to buy 10 single-family houses with our $300,000. We're going to go into a neighborhood where the average after repaired value is right around $200,000. We're going to put $30,000 down on each of these houses. Now be aware, the all-in cost on these deals is only $170,000 and they're worth $200,000. Why are we able to get them for $170,000? Because they're beat up, they're neglected. In almost all cases, it's going to be deferred maintenance. People don't take care of their homes. That's why we're able to buy property, 10, 15, 20% below market. Now, the $170,000 includes purchase price, rehab, and closing costs. So that $170,000 is our all-in price. So let's see how this deal is going to make us money. The first way that it's going to make us money is a thing called cash flow. And this is going to be about $400 per month per house, or $4,000 a month, or $48,000 a year. And that's after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, maintenance, vacancy. We're going to net about $48,000. Now remember, the stock guy made $90,000. We just made $48,000. So we're behind the stock guy. But what you've got to be aware of is that every dollar that you put into a piece of real estate, it makes you money 4 ways. Not just cash flow, but 3 other ways as well. Let's look at those quickly. The next way that it makes you money is a thing called appreciation. Appreciation. They go up in value every year. Real estate has doubled in value every 20 years since 1776. But that equates to only about 3% a year. But let's look. We've got $2 million worth of real estate, 10 $200,000 homes. 0.03 of that is $60,000 in appreciation. So now we made $48,000 in cash flow and $60,000 in appreciation. We're now at $108,000 profit. We are now ahead of the stock guy. But there's more. The next way that real estate makes you money is a thing called principal paydown. It's not a lot, about 2.5%, but what principal paydown is every month that your renters pay their rent, you're going to pay your mortgage. Part of that mortgage is reducing what you owe on the property. So that is additional profit. In this case, $35,000 a year. The fourth way that real estate makes you money is a thing called equity capture. And this is the big one. This is the big one. This is where the wealth comes from. In this case, we bought $2 million worth of real estate for $1.7 million. That means we captured $300,000 equity the day we closed that deal. Make a note, your net worth went up $300,000 the minute you closed on those 10 houses. When you add all this together, what happens is the stock guy, again, he made $90,000 total profit. The real estate guy, us, we made $48,000 in cash flow, $60,000 in appreciation, $35,000 in principal paydown, and $300,000 in equity capture for a total of $443,000. We win the bet, which means we also get the other person's $300,000. So we actually made $743,000 placing this bet and taking action. Now I want to make you a note of this. Think deeply when I say this. Do you realize that real estate saves your life? It saves your life. Why? Because in 1 year, you did what would have taken the stock guy 5 years of his life to do. Real estate saves your life. I highly recommend that you begin moving forward to take your money in your IRAs, in your 401ks, cash, whatever you've got. Take that money out of the stock market and get it into something safer, more effective, with a higher rate of return, and that's real estate. All right, we've got to go to break. We'll talk more after the break here on the Total Wealth Academy radio show. To learn more, register for a free sample class today. Sign up online at TotalWealthAcademy.com or call 855-576-7325. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com.
Now, you may have some fears about real estate investing, but let's look at some of those concerns and learn why they should not hold you back from building a second stream of income with real estate.
Yes, there are a lot of fears associated with real estate investing. But here's the problem. Almost everybody knows that real estate outperforms the stock market. Yet, most people have their money where? In the stock market. Why, if they knew that real estate outperforms the stock market, would they have their money in the stock market? It's these fears. Different fears for different people, but we're going to cover a couple of the main fears that we have to deal with at Total Wealth Academy. So fears, are they even real? The first concept you want to get in your head is this. Does a fear or belief have to be true to be debilitating? Does a fear or belief have to be true to be debilitating? The answer is no. The answer is no. A false belief will keep you paralyzed just as effectively as if it were true. So let's look at a couple false beliefs that people have about real estate investing. The first one is you have to have a lot of money to invest in real estate. People are afraid they don't have enough money. This is a false concept. When I actually started with bad credit and no money. I was actually $30,000 in debt when I started investing in real estate. We actually have 7 different banks and mortgage companies that will finance you up to 100% of the purchase price and the rehab. Meaning, you buy it and you need rehab money, they're going to loan you both. So we've got mortgage companies that will actually do zero down deals all the way up to about $30,000 down. But it's nowhere near what would happen if you went to one of the big banks and asked them if you could buy rental property. Their down payment would probably be $60,000 to $70,000 compared to $0 to $15,000. The next false belief is real estate investing takes a lot of time. When I had 100 single-family homes, it only took me about 20 hours a month, not a week, a month, to run those 100 homes. And I made over $40,000 a month in profit. I want you to think about this. If you made $40,000 a month off your rental real estate, would you have to work? You wouldn't. You wouldn't have a job. So that's 20 hours a month total. No, real estate does not consume a bunch of time. There's also a thing called passive investing. Passive investing is just like investing in the stock market. It takes almost zero time to invest passively in real estate, and we teach people how to do that at Total Wealth Academy. The next false belief is, I don't have the credit necessary to buy rental property. One of the things you've got to understand is it's easier to buy rental property than it is to buy your own home. Why? Because the rental property comes with its own ability to pay rental income. Your home comes right out of your pocket, so the banks look very closely at you when you're buying your home. Plus, you need to know that the government has set up a system where you're allowed to buy 10 houses on one type of loan called a Fannie Mae loan. In other words, they've already prepped you so that you can buy your home and 9 rental properties on the best type of mortgages that there are. The lowest interest rate, fixed interest rate, and the longest terms. So the government, again, has set you up to buy income-producing assets like single-family homes. Now, here's the big one. This is the biggest one. I have done surveys over the last 5 or 6 years in front of 3,000 people, in front of a couple hundred people, and everybody believes this: I cannot use my IRA or 401k to invest in real estate. There's the paralyzing belief. That is false. You can use your IRA, you can use your 401k to invest in real estate. All you do is roll your IRA or roll your 401k over into what's called a self-directed IRA or self-directed 401k. There is no tax or penalty to do this. Once it's in self-directed format, you can invest in anything you want. You can invest in a restaurant, you can invest in a theme park, auto dealership, or real estate. And 9 out of 10 millionaires in the United States used real estate to become millionaires, so I suggest you use your IRAs and 401ks to get into real estate. So these are just a few of the beliefs that hold people back. As you can see, they're all false, but it doesn't matter. False beliefs will paralyze you just as effectively as if they are true. Henry Ford put it best: whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Attend our free sample class, learn how to overcome your fears, and build a second stream of income with real estate. Thank you. To learn more, register for a free sample class today. Sign up online at TotalWealthAcademy.com or call 855-576-7325. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com.
As you can see, real estate investing is not what most people think. It's really just as easy as the stock market with much higher rates of return. Plus, remember, real estate is lower risk than the stock market, and just about anyone can do it. Total Wealth Academy can show you how. If you're interested in building a second stream of income, Steve Davis and Total Wealth Academy offer a free sample class so you can see if this is right for you. Take action now. You can visit TotalWealthAcademy.com or call 855-576-7325. Operators are standing by. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com. I'm Kevin Harrington, and thanks for watching.